Hello and welcome to the TigrePup channel. In this video, I'll be comparing hair color fillers on this blonde hair. If this topic interests you, then please keep watching. Okay, so this video is going to include information about hair color fillers. If you would like to learn more about that, then please check out this video, and I'll try to leave a link in the description because it's like the prelude before doing this here. Okay, so in order to use a hair color filler properly, you have to transition more than 3 levels, as you can see here. Okay, so really briefly, each level of hair is assigned a hair color. 1 would be black and 10 would be the lightest blonde. Okay, so I know this is in reverse. Actually, they always put the level 10 at the top and the level 1 at the bottom, but it still brings the point across. Okay, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because you have to know where you're starting and where you want to be. So in this case, I determined that her hair is between a 7 and 8, okay, between medium blonde and light blonde. So let's just say a 7.5, and I want to go and bring her down 3 levels in order to make this video applicable to what we're doing here. Okay, so I want to bring her down to between a 4, which is a light brown, and a 5, which is a lightest brown. Okay, so let's just say a 4.5. Okay, so I've gone ahead and calculated that for you. As you can see here, it's 3 levels of a difference, so that's what we're going to be working on. I'll show you how to determine a level in another video, but right now I just want to focus on this because I don't want to cause any confusion. So let's just say we're going 3 levels down the scale, or we're going to make our hair darker. Okay. Okay, so typically I would go with Wella Color Charm, as you can see here, and honestly I feel like their brand has become a lot more so on the cool side, and in order to do a tint back, is what this is called, you need to have a warm undertone. So I decided to switch over to Clairol Professional for this video. Like I said, I typically use Color Charm, but I noticed that it has like a cool base, and yeah, so I just did that for this video, and I'm going to show you in a second what it is that I'm talking about. Okay, so when you're going to do a tint back, you don't want to use cool tones because it's actually going to come out muddy, and we don't really want that. If you can see at the top, it says CC6, which is Color Charm 6, and C6 is Clairol level 6. I'm using level 6 because I didn't want to buy another color. So I don't know if you can see, it has a green tinge to the CC6, which is the Color Charm. So I've had issues with the Color Charm before when I did tint backs and stuff like that. So I decided to switch over to Clairol. So basically what I'm saying is you want to make sure that the base of whatever color brand you're using is not cool or ashen if you're going to do a tint back, because when we were taught in school, we used just straight up neutral. And we didn't bother with all of this filler stuff, but I'm trying something new, and we're going to learn something new today. Okay, so as I said before, we're going to just say this is a 7.5. Honestly, she's somewhere in between the level 7 and the level 8. I'm just giving you a 360 here. I'll do another video on how to determine somebody's hair color level, but it won't be in this video. Right now, we're just going to concentrate on these fillers. Okay, so typically most of these fillers are done on damp hair. So I went on ahead and shampooed her hair, as you can see here, and I've sectioned her hair into 4 sections. Okay, that section with the dry hair is basically when you're applying it to, you know, as you would normally for dry hair. You wouldn't wet or anything. So on this particular side, I'm going to do conditioner, which is what we were taught in school. Okay, and then the next section is like if you had did a demi-permanent hair color on somebody's hair without a filler, and you would go ahead and just apply to, like, you know, dried hair as you would normally for a demi-permanent hair color. Okay, right here I'm going to go in and I'm going to put the neutral filler, as you can see here. So I'm going to apply the neutral filler here, and in this section I'm going to do the warm brown, and we're going to see what the difference between all four of these different options. Okay, so just stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is apply our fillers, because it takes 20 minutes in order for it to process. The only thing I can say that's a problem, I didn't use 1 to 2 ounces of filler for just that little bitty section. I just dampened it as best as I could, and so I applied it to damp hair, and then we apply the color. So I did the fillers first, which is the warm brown and the neutral, and then we're going to apply the color. Okay, and I'm doing that just to make sure that the results are, you know, balanced and correct, you know what I'm saying? So okay, so as you can see here, I'm going with the ion protein filler. Apparently they did not have the colorful brand, which is very annoying, because I wanted to do red. They didn't even have that. So I'm just emulsifying this in the hair, making sure it's nice and damp, because we want total coverage. Okay, and next I'm going to go in with my warm brown protein filler by Colorful, which is the brand I wanted to use, but they didn't have it in red or in neutral. So we're just going to make sure that we get even coverage throughout. So that's what you see me doing here, and we're just going to wait 20 minutes as the instructions said to do. I also went in with my moisture rich conditioner, just the smallest amount, because this is what we were taught in school. We were taught in school to use a neutral. I mean, you could have, if you want red hair, you still have to use a neutral. If you want an ashen result, you still would have to use a neutral, because it covers all your bases. So and the conditioner is kind of like slows it down, so it doesn't absorb quite as fast as it would, because the hair is so porous. So that's what we learned in school, and I'm doing the experiment with all of these 4 options. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to set my timer to 20 minutes, and then we're going to start applying our hair color. Okay, okay, so time's up on that filler, and I'm going in with the 5 and the 4 in, and a volume 10 developer, because we're doing deposit only. And as you can see here, it's equal parts developer and colorant, and you leave it on for 30 minutes, because I'm not doing gray coverage, so there's no need for me to do 45 on porous hair. So that's what you see me doing here. Okay, so here are my sections. This is plain, this is without any filler whatsoever, and we're going to apply that to see what it would look like without a filler, you know what I'm saying? So just applying that hair color as I normally would. The only thing I don't like about this the Clairol is that it's difficult for me to manage to measure. Usually on my mannequin I do 6 ounces of color, which is 2 ounces of Wella with 4 ounces of developer, and with this I always end up short, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I just kind of went over the amount in order to make sure I had enough coverage. Yeah, with the 1-to-1 ratio, it's just I never have enough of color with the Clairol. But anyway, going on. Okay, so this is the side with the conditioner. Honestly, I think I should have wet the hair again, because like I said, when we did it in school, we did it on damp hair, and it's kind of dried out a little bit since we've used the 20-minute recommendation for all the color fillers. So that's one thing I'm not too happy about with this video, but we're still going to post it because this is very relevant. Okay, so just applying that that hair color, like I said, it's like a 4.5. I did a 4 and a 5, so it's like half and half of each, you know what I'm saying, to make the 4.5, to make everything one tone, so we can compare how the result will end. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so now moving on to the filler side, this is the neutral filler. Okay, so I'm just applying it as I normally would. As you can see, the plain side, it took pretty fast. Not to say I'm very fast or anything, but as you can see, it's looking pretty dark right now. But like I said, it takes time to apply your hair color throughout an entire head, and then you start the countdown for 30 minutes thereafter, if that makes any sense. I wouldn't start it from the first time I put the application in, because when you get to the other side and the 30 minutes up, what are you going to do? Wash it out? So yeah, that's what we're doing here. I'm just making sure I got even coverage and I don't miss any spots. Okay, so up next we're going in with the warm brown. As you can see here, it does have like a little golden, I don't know, like a gold tone. Okay, and it's supposed to replace all the missing pigments so that your hair won't come out green or really drab, which is basically like muddy. It looks literally like sludge or something, and we want a nice vibrant 4.5, which is a light brown, lightest brown, and light between a lightest brown, according to Clairol, lightest brown and a light brown, if that makes any sense. Okay, so usually most things have like just a light brown, but yeah, so that's what you see me doing here, making sure I got my hair evenly covered. And I still had a lot of product, well, not a lot, but I just used the remainder to try to get as much coverage as I possibly could. And here is the finished result after we did our application. Okay, so I'm just giving you a 360. It's looking kind of black, but we just gonna trust the process, as they always say. Okay, so just labeled all of those sections so we wouldn't have any confusion. And here is what the hair is looking like. It's all looking pretty black, but then light brown is pretty dark. So that's that. Just a reminder, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Okay, so I do have a Cash App. If you would like to contribute, I'll leave a link in the description section down below, because it does cost money to buy all these supplies to show you all of these different things that you can do and learn from these tutorials and reviews that I'll be doing. Okay, so if you would like to make a contribution, it would be greatly appreciated. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description section down below. Thanks. Okay, so here's what the hair is looking like before we begin. As you can see, we have a nice blonde going on here. Just give you a 360 close-up so you can see what's going on. And up next, we're going to show you what the end process looks like. Okay, here is the finished product. As you can see, she has a nice light brown hair color throughout. And we're just going to take a closer look at all of these sections. Okay, okay, so we're going to first start off with the plain. I have it labeled plain. Basically, it's just applying the hair color to dry hair. Like I said, we'd use a neutral, which is what I would use if I were doing a permanent hair color on somebody with bleached hair or whatever, and I'm doing like a tint back. And as you can see, we got nice coverage here to say we didn't use a filler. Here is what that's looking like. I'm trying to show you on a white piece of paper. It came out a lot darker than the other side, and I'm just trying to show you that with this piece of paper here. Okay, moving on to the side where I use the conditioner. As you can see, because we use a neutral in our formulation, okay, we still got coverage to say that we did like a tint back. That's what I learned in school before I heard about all of these fillers and whatnot. And this is what we did, and I did it in the salon as well. Right here, I'm just showing you what the hair color is looking like. As you can see here, it's a lot darker compared to the other side. However, we still got pretty good coverage. Okay, so now we're moving on to the filler side. As you can see, this is the neutral. Right here, I'm just showing you in the phone. It's in the sunlight, so I want to show you the coverage that we got going on here. As you can see, it just looks the same color as the other side. but just a little bit lighter. Right here, I'm just trying to show you here indoors what the hair color is looking like against a white background. And in my opinion, when I compared the two sides, the side with the filler, it came out a little bit lighter and more even toned in my opinion, just like I did in the video that I showed you at the beginning of this video. Or should I say, I placed in the link below in the description section. Okay, here's the warm brown, and honestly it didn't look any different from the neutral in my opinion. Right here I'm just showing you again, this is neutral, and we got pretty good coverage. The color doesn't look off or anything, so just giving you a pretty good look at that in the sunlight. Okay, moving on to the strand test. As you can see here, I feel like this side is a lot lighter than the other side. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you that, just my opinion. Okay, so right here I'm just trying to show you what I meant when I said one side was darker than the other. The colors, the side with the filler that I used to filler, the neutral and the warm brown, it came up lighter than the other side with the conditioner and just plain. And as you can see here, on your right is the filler side, and on the left is the conditioner plain side. And as I'm trying to show you that it's darker. Now we're going to turn the head in the back, and we're going to take a look at this here. Okay, so I'm just going to comb the hair smooth, and on the left side it's the filler side, and on the right is the conditioner and just the plain. And I'm just going to show you that really quick. Okay, and I don't know if you can see, but there's like a line of demarcation, or a slight color switch. I don't know what you want to call it, but just combing the hair down. I'm going to try to show it to you. So honestly, I've done these experiments so far, and I am a believer of using a filler now, because I feel like it comes out a lot more accurate in your color results. So before I would have used a conditioner or used it plain. Now I will use a filler. So just to recap, we used a couple of different fillers just to try to see the difference in how it would look on the hair. We use the same hair color throughout, so it would be no confusion. And we use the filler underneath so that we can see what will happen between all of the fillers and whatnot. Okay, so we had our warm brown, we had our neutral, and that side actually came out lighter than the side where I used the conditioner, which is something I learned in school, and just doing it plain. So that's something to consider when you're doing a tint back. I do have a video that I did previous to this, which goes more further into detail. I'll try to leave a link in the description down below. So yeah, hopefully you learned something in this video, and maybe you could use this knowledge to do your hair or somebody else's hair or something like that. So again, thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll catch my next video. Goodbye. Just a reminder, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.